Hello everyone! This is Belle from the Academy team. In this video, I will walk you through the new feature and new integration partner that we have added recently. We will discuss the new payment integration, Alipay, including how to use it on branded online store and Eats365 POS. Besides, we will also discuss what self-checkout is and who can utilize this feature. Then, we will compare the setup and overall flow of self-checkout when you have a BYOD license versus when you don't have one in your restaurant. And now, without further ado, let's have a look on one exciting news. We are now integrated with Alipay. With Alipay integrated into Eats365, customers can enjoy seamless payment process when they check out on your branded online store or pay for their bill using the Alipay QR code function through your POS. So, if your restaurant is keen to use this integration, feel free to contact our sales team or channel partners for more information. And once your restaurant has successfully enabled Alipay, your customer can now choose Alipay as their payment method when they visit your restaurant or placing the online order. So, for customers that would like to use Alipay on the branded online store, they can proceed to place order as usual. Then, on the checkout page, select the payment method as Alipay and they will be directed to the Alipay app to complete payment. While for customers that would like to make payment in your shop through the POS, you can then select Alipay as the tender type on the payment page. Then, the iPad camera will turn on automatically and customer can then scan their Alipay QR code to complete payment. And that's about it. Convenient, effortless, and hassle-free. Next, let's take a closer look at what the self-checkout feature is and who can utilize it. So, when we talk about self-checkout, it's basically a feature that allows customers to perform a self-checkout and pay for their orders through the restaurant's website on their own device when dining in. With this feature, customers no longer need to wait in long queues at your counter just to complete their payment. Additionally, your restaurant staff can better manage the crowd, especially during the peak hours, as they don't need to remain stationed at the counter for payments and can focus on other tasks instead. And hence, if your dine-in restaurant is a full-service restaurant that has integrated online payment providers connected to your Eats365 account, this feature is the one you are looking for. First, let's discuss how to enable the self-checkout settings for restaurants that use the Scan to Order feature, or in other words, restaurants that have a BYOD license. And if your restaurant does not utilize the Scan to Order function, but you would like to use the self-checkout function, you can refer to the timestamp below to go directly to that part. While for restaurant owners with a BYOD license, please ensure that you have at least one integrated online payment provider connected to your Eats365 account before setting up the self-checkout. And if you don't, kindly contact our sales team or channel partners for more information. And now, I will show you how to enable the self-checkout and manage the settings through our Merchant Portal 2.0. First, you must disable the required payment when placing order setting before you can successfully set up self-checkout. Hence, on your Merchant Portal, go to Restaurant Setting, Dine-in, and select Workflow. Under Order Payment, make sure that the required payment when placing order setting is off. Then, click on Scan to Order and scroll down until you see the Enable Self-Checkout setting. Turn it on, and if you want your customer to automatically proceed the payment process without staff manually accepting the checkout request, you can turn on Auto Authorize Self-Checkout. But for this example, I'll keep this setting turned off to demonstrate the overall flow, including how your staff can manually accept all self-checkout requests on the POS. And finally, click on Save at the top right to confirm the changes. Once self-checkout is enabled, your customer can now pay their own orders from the branded online store. And how do they do this? As usual, when your customers visit your restaurant, they will scan on the static QR or the dynamic QR code that you provided to them. Then, they will be directed to your restaurant branded online store to view the menu and place their orders. Once their orders are submitted, if your restaurant practice auto accept order workflow, the order will be directly sent to the kitchen, and you will notice that the table will change to red color on your POS. While if your restaurant requires staff to manually accept orders, you will need to accept the order as usual after the table turns blue. And once the order is being accepted, customer can now click on the bill icon at the top right, and on the bill page, they can check if their order is correct. Then, at the bottom, tap Settle the Bill and Check Out Now. And since just now I didn't turn on the auto-authorized self-checkout setting on my merchant portal, my customer will see this prompt asking them to wait for my restaurant staff to accept the checkout request. Otherwise, they will proceed directly to the payment page. Now, since customer had submitted the checkout request, so on my POS, I will see there is an icon indicating the self-checkout payment request appear on the table where customer who requested the self-checkout is seated. So, what I need to do is press and hold the table to show the action buttons. Then, tap on self-checkout, and I will see a prompt asking if I want to allow my customer to perform the self-checkout on their device. So I will click on Confirm. And one tips for everyone here, make sure you accept the request within 2 minutes. Otherwise, the request will be timed out and customer has to request self-checkout from their device again. And now, after request is accepted, on my action button screen, I will see that the self-checkout is pending from customer's end. While on customer's device, they will now see the payment page. So, they can select the payment method that they want to use to pay for their order and click on Confirm Payment to complete the payment process. Depending on which payment method they have selected, they will be directed to the relevant platform or app accordingly. For example, if my customer choose Alipay, then they will be directed to the Alipay app to authorize the payment. Now, let's have a look at how to enable the self-checkout settings for restaurants that do not use the scan to order feature or restaurants that do not subscribe to the BYOD license. You must first ensure that you have at least one integrated online payment provider connected to your Eats365 account before setting up self-checkout. And if you don't, kindly contact our sales team or channel partners for more information. And now, I will show you how to enable the self-checkout and manage the settings through our Merchant Portal 2.0. First, you must disable the required payment when placing order setting before you can successfully set up self-checkout. Hence, on your Merchant Portal, go to Restaurant Setting, Dine-in, and click on Workflow. Under Order Payment, make sure that the required payment when placing order setting is off. Then, turn on Print Payment QR Code on Bill setting and click on Save to confirm your changes. Once the Print Payment QR Code on Bill is enabled, after you punch in order on the POS, you can click on the bill icon at the bottom right and a QR code will be printed on the customer's bill. Customer can then scan the QR code from their mobile device and they will be directed to the checkout page. Tap Checkout Now and then select the payment method that they want to use to pay for their order. Click on Confirm Payment to complete the payment process. Depending on which payment method they have selected, they will be directed to the relevant platform or app accordingly. For example, if my customer choose Alipay, then they will be directed to the Alipay app to authorize the payment. Now that you have gained a solid understanding of how to use Alipay as payment method and what the self-checkout function is, so it's time to set it up so that your customer can experience a seamless payment process in your restaurant. Alright, with that, we will call it a day. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Goodbye, and have a great day ahead.